Welcome back to the channel, guys. I woke up this morning and said, hey, why not do an ERAD best class setup video? Because going for nukes last night, I got to 15 or 20 kills 5 or 6 times, and a goddamn synaptic payload jumping around like an absolute idiot kills me with the ERAD. So let's just give people more tips and tricks on how to use this gun. Alright, so as you probably guessed from the intro, the combat rig that you're going to want to start off with is the Synaptic with the payload, either Rewind or Equalizer. I'm not a big fan of Reaper. I personally like the ability Rewind. Gets you out of some tight situations, and you can chain doubles, triples, quads, all kinds of things with it, and save a streak that you may not have been able to save without it. But some people that like the weapon payloads would probably go with Equalizer. Both very, very good, but the big ones here are Propulsion. Now, Propulsion regenerates your boosters very quickly, so you're able to get smooth wall runs, never miss a jump, bounce off the walls, wall to wall, make people have to put that extra effort in to hit you in the air, while you just easily take them out with your ERAD. Now, there's some arguments for Rushdown and Combat Burst. They're both very, very good. Anything that increases the speed with a synaptic payload is just in my opinion very, very overpowered. But I mean, hey, you know what? I wish there was a nuke variant with the ERAD, because then everybody would be getting nuked. So that is the combat rig setup that you're going to want to use. Like I said, there's some arguments for some other payloads here, like the FTL with the FTL jump to close the gaps, with power slide to close the gaps with those SMGs, but it's not as important for the ERAD, as you will see when we go into the build of the gun. The ERAD has some incredible range with some incredible time to kills at those ranges. So let's go right into the class and look at how you're going to put your gun together. Now, with the attachments, you're going to start off by not having an optic. I find, as you can see, the optic is very, very similar to an ELO sight or a red dot. It's just a little bit smaller, but I still think it's a very, very good sight. Doesn't give you any more range, but it still has a very, very comfortable reticle that it's very easy to get on the target and hit without having too much complex stuff going on. So I really like the standard optic. And then you're going to want to equip foregrip, quick draw, and particle amp. Now, foregrip is important because you want to tighten that accuracy of the SMG. Very, very important for getting kills at range. It's going to stack with either your steady perk if you have it, but it's also going to help with sharpshooter, getting those kills at range. All going to benefit each other. And then quick draw, just standard, very important, because with the ERAD, you're not going to be hip firing a lot. As you see in these clips, I use the laser sight to try to see if it would benefit the hip fire, but the hip fire is not worth it for the ERAD. I mean, in certain situations, if you have to pull out of your aim to just get one more hit marker, it's okay, but you want to aim down sights as much as possible. As you can see, aiming down sights makes this gun an absolute destructive force. You want to keep that with your quick draw. You want to aim down sights as much as possible. Even if you're in the air, aim down sights, get that kill. You know, aim in, get one kill, switch targets, and just you want to always aim down sights as much as possible, because it's just way more lethal. I found you miss a lot of shots with the hip fire. It's still not as accurate even with laser sight. So that being said, the last attachment that you're going to want to use is either particle amp or stock. Now, particle amp is the one that I would opt for, just because I find you're in the air a lot. There's not a whole lot of occasions where stock is going to benefit you. If you're not much of a jumper, or you're using a different payload other than synaptic, then maybe put on stock, because it's going to help obviously with that side-to-side movement, and it's going to make the ERAD all that much better. But if you're jumping around a lot and you're in the air, just you want to get that extra range with that particle amp, and that's what I think is the most important. Because you can see here that the range on the ERAD is incredible. You can take people out at ranges very quickly. So moving into the perks, we're going to look at some of these and why they're important. Now, obviously Ghost I argue that it might not be necessary, because you're moving very, very quickly. You're bouncing off the walls, and you can catch people off guard, but I still like the ability to just be off radar. So definitely equip Ghost or Blind Eye. I mean, if you're playing hard point, you could probably put Blast Shield on. But I put Ghost on, and then Dexterity. Now, Dexterity is very important. As you see here, it could have transitioned this into either a triple or a quad feed even more. If I was able to get this reload off, but unfortunately, because I don't have Dexterity on in this clip, it doesn't get done, and I end up getting killed in the process. So that is why you want Dexterity. Very crucial for SMGs, especially because some of these mags are smaller. But then we move into perk 2. Now there are couple options. If you're playing hardpoint or some of those other game modes, Tack Resist might be an option. But I would opt for, if you're going for high score streaks or you're just going for kill streaks, you know, you're going for your Mercilesses and your Ruthless, you want to have Scavenger on. But if not, Momentum or Tracker are also good options. I mean, Tracker's the third option that I would choose. Momentum would be my second. You want to keep that speed up with that SMG, just because that's the kind of game style that you want to play. You don't want to get caught in a huge lane against a NV4 or a K-bar for that matter. So those are the options for perk 2. Like I said, I usually run Scavenger. That's usually the perk that I run. And then last but not least, the only one I can show you guys here, Dead Silence is very good, but it's Gung Ho. You want to be able to shoot while sprinting. You know, in those cases where you get a few hit markers and you want to keep sprinting and get a quick hip fire off, Gung Ho is what you want to have on there for the ERAD. So like I said, I mean, you could opt for Dead Silence. If you really find you're not getting use of Gung Ho in your hip fires, then definitely switch that over to Dead Silence. Both very good perks in that third spot. But most importantly are these attachments. I think this is the best way to set up the ERAD. I really don't think hip firing is viable. I think you should always aim down sights as much as possible. As you saw from some of those clips, it's not as accurate. I mean, like any gun isn't when you're hip firing, but I just feel like the accuracy you get from aiming down sights and the kill time you get with the ERAD is just night and day, and you want to aim down sights as much as possible. So I hope these tips helped you guys out. If they did, drop a like on the video, and if you see me out there trying to get a nuclear, I did start going them for the first time yesterday. If you're using the Synaptic and the ERAD, please turn your mic down because I will rage. So that being said, guys, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, drop a like if you enjoyed it. But until the next video, guys, stay on the bean. You do you. Live life your way, because that's the way it's meant to be. Here's your beauties.